Oh my god, he killed an original. Welcome bitches, one and all, to my reaction to Season 2, Episode 8 of the Vampire Diaries, Rose. Now, last time the crew, with the help of Bonnie's cousin, which was very cool to see, managed to trick Catherine into being captured, to which they then placed her into the tomb that she was meant to be placed in 160 years ago, which the poetic justice was just beautiful. Now, while in the tomb, Catherine did give a warning that as the doppelganger, Elena needs to be protected, which was interesting because we've never seen Catherine show any protective feelings towards Elena. It's always been that she's trying to take over her life or ruin her life. So that was weird to hear, but then right at the end, Elena did actually get kidnapped by, I assume, the very person that Catherine's been running away from. So I'm excited to find out who that is, why they have her, if they know it's Elena, or if they actually think it's Catherine. Also, we did have Elena and Stefan actually break up. This wasn't a trick. This wasn't a trying to fool Catherine. This was a full-on, we need to break up. I don't know where they're going to go from here. I don't know if this is permanent, if this is a phase, and then when all of this is over, they'll get back together. I don't know, but I am excited to find out. But yes, anyway, with that said, extremely excited to get back into it. So without further ado, let's go.
Where is she?
Obviously a vampire.
Thank you for your help.
Is this a human that's been compelled and he's about to be killed?
Come closer, please.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. That was a brutal killing as well. Who the fuck is this man?
Yo, Elena!
She ain't there, Jeremy, and the fact that you don't know that she didn't come home is concerning.
Tyler getting blamed for Sarah's death just opens up questions that he can't answer.
Yeah.
And that werewolf road leads straight to Vampire Boulevard. I thought I was thinking fast on my feet.
You did a good job. It is so weird to see Damon and Caroline having a conversation. Like, if you look back in season 1, what the fuck?
All right, I'll ask him.
No, you won't, Caroline.
Oh,
He
fuck.
cannot know about us.
Damon, back
Buying
off.
from a werewolf can kill a vampire, so don't be his friend. Do you understand me?
I mean, he has a point, but back off. Leave her alone, mate.
If you want to drop the hint to your mom that Amy's body is at the bottom of a ravine with a cracked spine, might save your mom some time.
Yeah, I'll just drop that hint in casual conversation. Oh, was that increased aggression? God, just imagine your strength being like amped up out of nowhere. That would take some time to get used to.
Elena's gotta let me know if I'm supposed to cover for her. And Jenna's cool with the two of you, but you guys are pushing it.
Oh, Jeremy, no, that's not what's going on.
Wait, she didn't stay at your place last night?
No.
Because her bed hadn't been slept in, and Mrs. Lockwood said that her car was still in the driveway.
Yep. Be concerned. Well, what the fuck is this creepy place? I mean, it doesn't look lived in, so a vampire could easily hide out in it. Who are you?
Please, I'm hurt.
I know. Just a taste.
No.
Control yourself.
Who are you, my darling?
My God, you look just like her.
My name is Elena Gilbert. You don't have to do this.
I know who you are. I said be quiet.
Is she British? Oh, she's a bitch is what she is. I could not tell her accent. It sounded like fake British.
Trust me, I'm the one that shut her in.
Did you?
Did I what, Stefan?
Well, I know the hold that Catherine has on you.
She's in the tomb. Period. End of story.
Oh, Stefan, don't go there.
Let me tell you how that's gonna go. We're gonna go ask her for help. She's gonna negotiate a release, which are gonna be dumb enough to give her, and then she's gonna get out and kill us.
Yep.
That's exactly what she wants.
I don't really care.
Stefan, I don't see any other option right now, but what Damon said is very correct. You've gone through all that effort to get Catherine locked up to just release her.
How did you know
What do you mean?
about me? How did you know?
I don't know how you can talk your way out of this, love.
I thought I was doing a good thing by covering for you.
It's not what I'm talking about.
Look, it was an accident, okay? And
She is gaslighting him.
Did you or did you not get the message to Elijah?
Elijah.
You!
Fuck.
There's nothing around here for miles. If you think you're getting out of this house, you're tragically wrong, understand?
who's Elijah?
He's your worst nightmare.
Yeah, I recognize the name Elijah. Am I being dumb? Is that the one that Catherine was running away from? Or am I just like...
What if there was another way to find her?
You gonna scry?
I'll use your blood to draw the energy for the tracking spell. Your blood related, and it'll make the connection stronger.
Alright,
Ah.
clear out of here within 10 minutes.
Oh my god, I love magic like this. Is the blood literally gonna like go on the map and do a line? Eden.
We can map it. Aerial view, it'll show us what's around there. Help us narrow down the area.
Perfect.
Nice, Jeremy. Old school witchcraft with modern technology.
Just sit here. What if she's hurt, okay? Or worse, what if she's
not.
Bonnie?
Two, go back to your house just in case. I'm gonna call.
Bonnie, no, you don't hide shit like that. You tell us why you're bleeding from your nose. Was it a big spell or something? Are there like consequences to spells? Like, do certain spells have a cost? Like, she used blood to find someone. Does it cost her blood?
Are you okay?
You lied to me earlier.
Yeah, she did.
I think that you misunderstood me at the party. I get it. It was very traumatic.
You're lying.
Nope, but I'm late.
Hey.
Oh! Nice one, Caroline, but you've just revealed you have super strength.
How did you? You're stronger than me?
Please, that was nothing.
Caroline.
I'm sorry, Tyler, but I think that you're still in shock over Sarah dying. And it's understandable.
Right, Caroline, there's a difference between not being friends with him and making him your enemy. And you're kind of making him your enemy right now, which, considering his bite can kill you, is not very good.
Just get it out. I mean, are you in this car because you want to help your little brother save the girl that he loves, or is it?
Because he wants to save the girl he
You love him
loves. Yeah.
I mean, come on, express yourself. I happen to like road trip bonding.
I feel like it's going to hurt Stefan even more knowing that Damon loves her and they're not actually together anymore.
What are you doing?
There's something else I want to try.
Oh, is she going to send a message to her because she's writing Stefan and Damon? She's saying Stefan and Damon are on their way. Can she like send a message to
I
Elena?
know it's crazy, but I might be able to get her a message.
Oh my god, please. This will be fucking incredible. But you did bleed from your nose earlier, Bonnie, so be careful. Yep.
Bonnie?
Yep.
Bonnie?
She did it, but are you okay? No. Fuck's sake. Bonnie, you gotta be careful, my darling.
Okay, it's not like I can go anywhere. The least you can do is tell me what you want with me.
I personally want nothing. I'm just a delivery service.
Elijah?
2 points to the eavesdropper.
I like this girl.
He's one of the vampires, the originals.
Oh, he's an original?
I mean the originals.
I've heard about the originals.
Questions, haven't the South
Like, I know that so there's a show called The Originals that takes place, I think after season 4 of the Vampire Diaries, if I remember correctly. So I know that the originals are a thing, and I know that they're meant to be the original vampires, but we've never actually heard of any until now. Interesting. So we got Elijah.
Who are the originals?
Yeah, please.
Trevor and I have been running for 500 years.
Damn.
We're tired. We want it over. We're using you to negotiate ourselves out of an old mess.
But why me?
Yeah.
Because you're a Petrova doppelganger. You're the key to breaking the curse.
What do you mean I'm the key? The Moonstone is what breaks the curse.
For werewolves.
No. The Moonstone is what binds the curse. Sacrifice is what breaks it.
They have to sacrifice Elena. That was a lot of information. So we have the originals. So this woman has been running away with Trevor for 500 years, which is a huge amount of time. Maybe Catherine has been alive for 500 years as well. So the originals. Were the originals the original vampires before the curse took place? Because we all know that based on that Mayan legend, the werewolves and vampires were able to hunt in any time of day. And then the curse was placed on them. So the werewolves turn at the night and vampires can't walk in the sun. So the Moonstone is the thing that breaks it, but the actual thing that causes it to break the curse is Elena's death. But I can't see 7 seasons of the Vampire Diaries, or 8 seasons. I can't see Elena dying. So how are they going to go about this? Do you need her to die, or do you just need her blood? Could her turning into a vampire count as death? Because you have to die for that to happen. That could be an interesting workaround, but again, I don't see Elena turning into a vampire, especially this early. Interesting. Caroline, careful. It is him. Oh shit, Caroline, careful.
What are you doing here?
I know. You're just like me, aren't you?
No.
I saw how strong you were.
Yeah, that was definitely a
I'm not
mistake,
leaving
Caroline.
Until you tell me the truth.
What?
Oh. Oh. Do you understand now, Tyler? She is not a werewolf.
Who are you running from?
The originals.
Who are they?
What does that mean?
The first family.
First family, so they're a family.
What did you do?
He made the same mistake countless others did. He trusted Katerina Petrova.
Catherine.
The first Petrova doppelganger.
The first
I
Petrova
helped her escape her
doppelganger.
fate.
So that's her last name then? Petrova? I've heard of Petrova. I haven't heard of Petrova. But I'm pretty sure he said Petrova, so we're going to go with that. She was the original Petrova doppelganger. What does that mean? Was she a doppelganger to someone else? Is she not even the original person who looks like Elena? Or looks like herself? Like, my brain is broken right now. I'll just continue.
What happened? You scared the hell out of me.
It's nothing.
No, it wasn't nothing, Bonnie.
It's not nothing, Bonnie.
Witchcraft has its limits. If I push too hard, it pushes back.
Interesting. It's good to know your limitations, but she's obviously not sticking to the limitations. Oh my god, that is amazing, Bonnie. I love her so much. Well done. Well, he's just sitting there having a sip.
I've been drinking a little every day.
Yeah, but like, how much are you about to drink,
Elena, you're
Stefan?
drinking blood?
I've been drinking hers.
It's like, it's a bit weird because at first I was like, that might be smart based on you're with the person that you're most likely to attack, essentially. But to make it into a romantic thing, ew.
He's here. This was a mistake.
Shit.
Hey! What are we?
We're family. Forever.
So we're gonna meet an original. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh my god, it's an original. Elijah.
What is it that gives you the courage to call me?
I wanted my freedom. You in a position to grant me that?
I have complete authority to grant pardon to you and your little pet if I so see fit.
Ooh.
Katerina Petrova?
Petrova, okay, it's Petrova.
Do you have her in your possession?
No.
Even better.
I have a doppelganger.
That's impossible. Her family line ended with her. I know that for a fact.
And the facts are wrong.
Well, show her to me.
Elijah, you're a man of honor, but I want to hear you say it again.
You have my word that I will pardon you.
Not your brother, though.
Follow me.
He was very careful with his words there. He didn't say he would pardon Trevor. Shit.
Hello there.
Oh god. Right, so we've actually met an original. The way that he was standing in the sun, I do wonder, are the originals affected by the sun? Or does he have a ring? Because it'll make sense if the originals were a bit different to normal vampires. Because they're put at this like high pedestal for a reason.
Oh, we have a long journey ahead of us. We should be going.
Please don't let him take me.
One last piece of business. And we're done.
Oh, he's gonna kill you, Trevor, mate.
I've waited so long for this day, Elijah. Truly, very sorry.
He's gonna
No,
kill
your
you.
apology is not necessary.
Yes.
He's gonna break off one of the things, isn't he? And stab him.
Where was your loyalty?
I beg your forgiveness.
I don't think you're gonna get it, mate.
So granted.
Oh, so he forgives you, but it don't mean you're gonna live. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Moonstone.
What do you know about the Moonstone?
I know that you need it, and I know where it is.
Oh, Elena, you smart little girl.
What is this vervain doing around here?
Oh god.
Tell me where the Moonstone is.
In the tomb underneath the church ruins.
What is it doing there?
It's with Catherine.
Interesting.
Oh fuck.
What is that?
I don't know.
Who else is in this house?
I don't know.
Oh god, this is like, I'm so on edge. I'm still so shocked by the way that he killed that guy. He sliced his head off with his hand. I wonder if he knows Stefan and Damon.
Down here.
Oh shit. Oh. Oh, and they're gone.
You're making a great mistake if you think that you can beat me.
This man is scary.
Just, please don't hurt my friends. They just wanted to help me out.
What game are you playing with me?
Yeah, she's obviously a distraction. Ooh, so he's still affected by vervain then. That's good to know. Oh, he healed extremely quickly from it though. Stefan, careful. This guy's really strong. Has he actually just killed him? Oh my god. Oh my god, he actually just killed him.
Just let her go.
Oh my god, he killed an original. Is he gonna get back up or something? Why do they keep looking around? I'm scared. That's really nice that she said thank you to Damon though.
Okay. I got your message.
Hell yeah. It was so nice to see Jeremy and Elena actually like with each other again.
What Rose told Elaine about the curse.
I know.
You know the only way we're gonna be able to do that is if we're not fighting each other.
Yep. I mean, you're the one who keeps instigating it, Stefan.
I'm sorry.
Ah.
But what?
For being the guy who made you turn 145 years ago.
Oof. He actually apologized for it.
It's late. No need to rehash that.
Well, you know what? I've never said it out loud. I guess I just need to say it and you need to hear it. I'm sorry. What I did was selfish. I didn't want to be alone.
No. I think he did need to hear that.
At the beginning, I was very, very emotional. Everything was heightened.
I have that.
Cool that we're finding a bit more about wolves as well.
How can you be a vampire?
How can you be a werewolf?
Who else is like you?
Just me. How many other werewolves are there?
Just me. And my Uncle Mason, but he left town.
About that, Tyler.
I need you to promise me no one will find out about us. This is life and death.
Yep.
I have no one else to tell.
Oh, that is true.
On the next full moon, I'm gonna turn, and I won't be able to stop it. I'm scared.
No, it's...
Aw. Please just be friends, though. I don't want to see... I don't want Caroline to be with Tyler. He's come a long way, but... Oh my god. Is it Rose or is it someone else?
Who's there?
Oh, it is her. Okay.
Why are you here?
Lexi once told me that you're one of the good ones.
Oh, was Lexi the one who talked to her?
I don't want to run anymore because I don't have anywhere else to run to.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
I don't need your help, but I think you need mine.
Oh.
Elijah may be dead, but this isn't over.
What do you mean it's not over?
It isn't over. The originals. They'll come for her. They're doing it for him.
Who?
Klaus.
Klaus? I've heard that name before. That's like one of my good friends' best, like their favorite character. Interesting. Finally got mention of Klaus.
I'm tired, Damon.
Right, this?
I thought that was gone.
Oh.
I just have to say something.
Why do you have to say it with my necklace?
Exactly.
Because what I'm about to say is probably the most selfish thing I've ever said in my life.
Damon, don't go there.
No, I just have to say it once. You just need to hear it.
Don't compel her though.
I love you, Elena.
Is he gonna make her
And
forget?
it's because I love you that I can't be selfish with you.
Why you can't know this? I don't deserve you, but my brother does.
Aww.
God, I wish you didn't have to forget this.
Oh, Damon.
But you do.
That was beautiful. What? Can he come back or is someone else turning up? Oh my god, he can come back. What the fuck? Is that a thing that like the originals can do? Can they not die? What? Like what? That's sick though. Is that what it is then? Maybe you have to go through like a special process. Maybe you have to like kill them and then do something else. Damn. That was a really good episode. My god. We had our first mention of Klaus, which I'm very excited for because that is one of my best friend's favorite character. And he's always said that it's his favorite in the Vampire Diaries. So the fact that I'm finally getting to know Klaus is very exciting. But yes, anyway, the episode as a whole, let's go over it. Now, for starters, the fact that the episode is called Rose makes me think that she's going to be playing an important role. I feel like she might be a new big character that we see a lot because it's weird to title the episode Rose when she wasn't like the key center character. She was part of the key center characters, but it's not as if the whole story was about her. So it makes me think that she is going to become a more common character. But yes, anyway, so we start the episode with obviously the car exchange of Elena, where it was pretty obvious it was a vampire, but I never even thought about this. You can get blackout windows that block out sunlight. That is such a smart way for a vampire to get around in the day. But then you've also got the problem of how do you get out of the car? Maybe if you have like an indoor garage that you can open automatically, you can take it in, shut the door, and then get out. Now, we then had an exchange between Damon and Caroline where Damon said basically, don't tell Tyler anything. Act like You don't know anything about what he is. Just try your hardest to push him away so that you don't have to reveal anything, which I agreed with the sentiment, but I did not like how rough he was getting with Caroline. It sort of harkened back to season 1 when he used to take advantage of Caroline, and it made me feel uncomfy to see him being that rough with her. So I hope he isn't in the future, but yeah, anyway, we then moved on to the school scene where it didn't even click to me that now Tyler's going to be having advanced strength as well. I knew that he turned, but it didn't really click to me the passive abilities that he would have. So he's a lot more stronger. We also learned later on that he feels hot all the time. We learned that he goes through the same emotional outbursts that vampires do. So I do like that we had that scene, because it gave us a lot more information about werewolves as a whole. Now, in the next scene, we met Rose and Trevor. They have been running away from the originals for 500 years. Now, they did say that it was to do with Catherine, which means Catherine is at least 500 years old, which is insane. So she has been around since the early 1500s at least. And later on from Elijah, we found out that they were under the impression that her entire family line had been erased. But if she has been around since the 1500s, then has her family line that they're talking about been in secret continuing for that many years? Because that is insane. That means that Isabel is like a huge descendant of Catherine. Like, she's not like great aunt. Like, she is a long way down. So we then moved on to our first bit of magic this episode, which was the tracking spell. We had two this episode. We had the tracking spell and the message spell. The first one is very cool because it means that wherever Jeremy and Elena are, as long as the other one is with Bonnie, they will be able to find them. I don't know about the range of it. I don't know if you gave it a world map, you'd be able to track the country that they're in. Like, I don't know the effective range. Maybe it requires more magic and more concentration. It will have more of an effect on the witch, depending on distance. I don't know. But that is going to be a very helpful tool in the future. And then the second piece of magic, the message spell, is also extremely cool. And again, what are the limitations? Are the limitations distance? Or does it have the same cost no matter what? Like, can Bonnie send a message to someone in another country and it have the same effect? Or does distance have a role to play? I don't know yet, but that is a very cool thing to have as well. Now, we then moved on to the scene with Caroline and Tyler, where Tyler sort of like grabbed Caroline's shoulder and tried to get her to stop, to which she put him in his place and took him down, which it was a moment of self-defense, and she was trying to get him off of her because he was annoying her. Again, emotional outburst as well. Like, he was annoying her and she had to get him off. But she had to have known that showing she has super strength is going to give him a hint that she is not normal. So I think that was her first mistake, but I don't blame her for it. Now, we then had the scene with Stefan and Damon in the car, where Stefan was kind of like poking Damon, trying to get a response out of him by saying that he has feelings for Elena and he shouldn't deny it and to just tell Stefan. But I get the sentiment that Stefan's having, and I get why he is a bit more emotional right now, because him and Elena have broken up. She is single. So if Damon loves her, it's a lot more on Stefan's mind that they could get together now. Do I think they will? I don't know. I really don't. I liked them together. Like, for instance, I was editing the episode of the Miss Mystic Falls where Damon and Elena did that dance, and it was just so beautiful and they had such a connection, but it's just so complicated with Stefan being his brother. Like, I would want them together, but with Stefan being the brother, it feels a bit icky. I don't know. We'll have to see. So from there, we had the scene with Rose and Elena where we've got our first piece of information about the originals. Now, I've known about the originals because basically right before I even watched the Vampire Diaries, I knew about the spin-off The Originals, and I know there's one called Legacies as well. And it never really clicked to me until I started watching the Vampire Diaries that it would be called The Originals because they are the original vampires. It didn't click until like, a month or two ago, because I remember one of my friends was talking about the show and they mentioned The Originals and I was like, wait, The Originals? And it all just clicked in my head. So I did have a kind of inkling about them, but I didn't know what it meant. Like, what does it mean to be the originals? So we found out that they're a family, which means they're all going to be related to each other and they're all going to have strong bonds with each other. It seems as though, based on Elijah getting up at the end, they are immortal. Now, like I said before, I don't know if that means that they can be killed, but in a different way, and no one knows how that is because they're not going to reveal that information. But it would be very weird to have characters that literally can't be killed. Like, vampires are immortal, but they can still be killed. But it would be weird to have a fully immortal being. Maybe it depends on the way you kill them. Maybe staking them isn't enough. Maybe you have to literally chop their head off. It'll make a lot more sense because how are you going to heal from that, you know? Now, from here, we moved on to Tyler confronting Caroline in her home. And he was originally under the impression that she was a werewolf, which makes sense. Like, She has super strength. It's the only supernatural being he knows of. But obviously we know that that's not the truth. And when he went to attack her, Caroline revealed her fangs and showed him that she was a vampire. Now, I don't think she had a choice. I think at that point it was set in stone. Like, he was going to find out. She had to defend herself somehow. Do I think that she should have had the fangs come out? No, but I don't think she could control it. I don't think it was a conscious thought of, I will show him and it will be revealed and he'll leave me alone. I think it was literally like she was angry. Like, he was coming for her. She was just trying to defend herself. So I don't blame her, but the truth is out. Tyler knows. Later on, she did say that she's the only one. Whether he believes it, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but he's obviously going to find out everything soon. We then had a scene with Bonnie and Jeremy where they were getting a bit close. I was sensing a bit of chemistry, a bit of energy between the two, which I'm not mad about. I'm not against Bonnie and Jeremy being together. It's not like that's Elena's little brother, because we've seen him grow. We've seen Bonnie grow. They're both of age. They can make this decision themselves. And for all we know, they'll be good for each other. Like, Jeremy has grown on me. Jeremy used to be so fucking annoying. I don't think it was his fault. I think it's because he didn't know and he had been written to be the one that's clueless about everything, that it was just naturally annoying. But to have him and Bonnie both know about witches, werewolves, vampires, it's a lot more plausible for them to be together. And very few people know about all of these things. They're really the only people that they can be together with. So I am definitely down for that couple. Now, moving on, we had the scene where Elijah actually shows up at the house, and he definitely had this aura around him. Now, my question is, now that we found out that they can't die either, when he was standing there in the sunlight, was that because he was wearing a ring, or is he not affected by the sun? Do originals have different abilities to normal vampires? Because it would make sense, because they're called the originals. It would make sense that they are of a higher caliber than the normal vampires, because they're sort of held to this pedestal. However, it doesn't... Saying that, Damon and Stefan didn't really have a problem killing him, and they didn't really have a respect for him. So is it because they were newer vampires in the grand scheme of things? Like, they're 160 years old, but we know vampires who are like 600 years old. So was it because of that, or were Damon and Stefan just clueless and they don't actually know much about the originals themselves? So Elijah then entered the room with Elena and could sense that she was a human. I assume when he went to her neck, I assume he could like sense the blood in her, and that's how he did it. But he then grabbed her vervain necklace and pulled it off, which we've been under the impression that would burn your hand. However, later on, when the vervain grenade was thrown at him, it did affect him. He got affected by the vervain, but it was so momentary that it didn't really make a difference. Like, it incapacitated him for about 5 seconds, and then he was back up normal. So that's another thing. He can't die. He doesn't have a huge weakness to vervain. Like, what can you do? The only way that you could really counter that is by putting him in that vervain pool that Mason had, because that's a continuous source of vervain. I wonder if he's done the same as Catherine. I wonder if it isn't the fact that he's an original that he can do that, but that he's developed an immunity to it, because she said that she was immune, but when she said that, I thought that she meant the injection version, like it wears off quicker, but it would make sense that you would heal quicker as well. I never really thought about it like that. So after figuring out that she was human and she was the doppelganger, he turned to Trevor, and I knew that he was going to kill him, because his wording towards Rose when she asked, she said, "You're a man of honor. I need to hear you say it." He said, "I will not harm you." He didn't say anything about Trevor, and the bitch should have picked up on that, but she didn't. So that then led to one of the most brutal ways people have been killed in this show. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the worst one is still the grabbing of a heart out of someone and them dying, because that just the very idea of it makes my skin crawl. But the fact that he is so strong that he just swiped his head off, like, oh my God. I know that vampires get stronger with time, which would make sense why he was able to do that, but just to see that actually happen was so fucking terrifying, that he has that much strength and that much power. And Trevor himself is over 500 years old. Like, he's an old vampire himself, so it's crazy. So we then moved on to the scene where Damon and Stefan fought Elijah, and it just proved how scary he is, because he was able to counter everything that they threw at him with such ease and so quickly that how do you beat him? You can't even kill him. They staked him in the heart. He went grey. Like, he fully died and he came back. So it just turns them into probably the biggest villains that we've met on the Vampire Diaries, because how do you fight that? Like, Catherine alone was scary because she was always very manipulative. She was able to think ahead. She had built up an immunity to vervain. But to have someone who is actually immune to all of this, is terrifying. So I am excited, but also a bit weary about meeting more originals. So from there, we moved on to the very lovely scene between Damon and Stefan, where I believe for the first time ever, Stefan actually apologized for turning Damon, because if you look back in the past, he did force it on him. He chose that decision for Damon. He forced being a vampire onto him. So it would make sense that Damon has been holding this grudge. And even though he doesn't outwardly express it or say it, I think hearing that apology from Stefan was a huge thing to Damon. And I think that is really going to change their relationship for the better, because I think he holds Stefan to a standard of, because Stefan is the good brother and Stefan is quite self-righteous in his way of life, that I think Damon never thought that he would apologize. And I think a part of him always blamed himself. So to actually hear it from Stefan that he is sorry for it, that is going to be a huge boost and a huge step towards them actually having a good relationship. So we ended off the episode with the scene between Damon and Elena, which was just so beautifully done, honestly. The way that they acted that was impeccable, because it truly showed how torn up Damon was inside having to say this to her, because he wanted so much to tell her the truth. And you can tell that he wants to be with her, but he knows that he isn't good enough for her. Do I agree with that? I don't know. I think he's still got a lot of growth to do, and while he has come a huge way compared to the Damon that we saw at the start of season 1, he's still got a lot more growth to do. He's still got a lot of things to get over. So while he may not be ready now, I'm not going to completely cut off the idea of Damon and Elena being together. Because yesterday I was editing the Miss Mystic Falls episode, which was the episode where they had the dance together, Damon and Elena, and they have such a good chemistry with each other, and they have such good energy with each other, that I do truly think they will be positive influences in each other's lives, especially Elena for Damon's life. However, at the moment, I do agree with the sentiment that Stefan might be better for her. But then even then, they're not even together. So you can't even say that, but I'm not going to completely write it off. But yes, anyway, I believe that covers everything. So on to question time. Okay, first up, would you prefer Damon to say what he had to say to Elena and let it be? Or do you think that erasing her memory was the better option? That's a tricky one. I think that I personally would rather him not have erased her memory, because I would like to see the dynamic having Elena know how he's genuinely feeling. However, from Damon's point of view, I completely understand why, because he genuinely thinks that Stefan is better for Elena. And if you love someone and you think that that is what's best for them, it's completely understandable why you would want that. And why he doesn't want to complicate things. He doesn't want to make Elena question it, because he thinks that that's what's best for her. So personally, I wish that he had left it as it is, but I understand why he did it. Next up, what do you think of Tyler now that you've gotten to see more of his character? He's grown on me more, definitely. I prefer him to original season 1 Tyler. Like, season 1 Tyler was an absolute dickhead, and I hated him. So he's definitely grown on me. Has he grown on me enough to like him? No, I think I need more time with him. It's not necessarily anything that he's done recently. It's all of the stuff in the past. So I just need time. I need time to get to know him and to actually like him. Next up, what are your thoughts on the brothers' talk in the car? Is Stefan really that cool with Damon's feelings for Elena, or is it something he's pretending to be okay with? I think he's 100% pretending. I don't think that he is ever going to be okay with the idea that Damon loves Elena, simply because of how it was with Catherine in the past. Even though Stefan doesn't see it as genuine love that he had for Catherine, he sees it as being compelled. It doesn't change the dynamic that was birthed between Damon and Stefan, where his brother and him were both loving the same girl, and it was like a mission to see who would get her love. That's going to affect anyone. So I think he is definitely faking that he's okay with it. We'll have to see where that goes in the future. If anything were to happen between Damon and Elena, I don't know how Stefan would react. I don't know if Stefan would be okay with it. It's just going to have to be something that we wait and find out, you know? Next up, what are your first impressions of Elijah? I would like to say I like him. I like the premise of the originals, and I like the premise of there being this family that are like so old, and they're the original vampires, and what's the history? How did they become the original vampires? All of that, but Elijah himself, he just came across as this like self-entitled asshole, you know? Like, he might get better in the future, but I think because the way they set his character up as being this debt collector and on a mission of getting the doppelganger, it was never going to make me like him. But I do like the premise, and I'm excited to see more of him in the future, especially now that I know that he can't die. Right, next up, now that you know about this sacrifice and the Moonstone Curse, what do you think will be Elena's decision in all of this? I never really thought about her decision, to be honest, because I always was thinking from the point of view of her being kidnapped and it being forced on her. But right now, they don't really need to break the curse. Like, the people who are affected by the curse in Elena's life are Tyler, Caroline, Damon, and Stefan. Damon, Stefan, and Caroline all have rings, so the sun isn't really a problem. Tyler might become a problem in the future, but he can still live a life. He just has to be, like, tied up at the full moon and all that. So I don't really see right now Elena sacrificing herself, making the decision, but something could happen in the future. Who knows? Something could force her hand. But yeah, for now, I think they're all just happy that Elijah's dead and the problem is over. Next up, Caroline and Tyler are becoming closer. What are your thoughts on this new friendship between a werewolf and a vampire? I don't know where I stand, to be honest, because taking the werewolf and the vampire out of it for a second, you've got my favorite character, Caroline, and you've got someone who I used to consider an absolute arsehole. So them becoming friends, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not against it. I just don't want Tyler to be a dickhead to Caroline. I want Tyler to be a good friend to Caroline, and maybe he will be. He's growing, so there's definitely potential for that, but he better stay away from her, and it's very dangerous when you take werewolf and vampire back into the question. It's very dangerous to have a werewolf and a vampire be good friends, because we know that a werewolf can't control themselves when they turn. So Caroline even being around Tyler might be a mistake. I feel like it is going to come up in the future. I think there will be a time where Caroline is going to be facing Tyler when he's turned and she's going to have to do something because his bite will kill her. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Next up, what do you think is going to happen in upcoming episodes, giving all the info that was learned in this one? Well, we know that Elijah is back from the dead, so he still has all the information that he found out, which is that Elena's a doppelganger. He knows she comes from Mystic Falls, he knows where the Moonstone is, and he knows where Catherine is. So I think his next stop is either back to the originals to relay the information and maybe get backup, and then they're 100% going to go to Mystic Falls and get Catherine out of the tomb, get the Moonstone, and also get Elena because they need her to break the curse. So I think that's what's going to be the big season storyline, but we're only on episode 8, so I think that's going to be drawn out a bit more. I think there'll be a bit more story to it than that. And finally, what are your thoughts, given that we now know that Elena will have to die for the curse to be broken? How do you think everyone will react? Ooh, I never really thought about how everyone will react because we never saw it. The only one who knows is Rose and Elena now. And I assume we're going to have next episode Damon and Stefan find out about that, which that's not going to go down well. They're going to be on like hyper protective mode now because of course they're going to want to break the curse. Like that is the one drawback of being a vampire is not being able to go out in the sun. So the second anyone gets wind that that's a possibility that they can actually break the curse, Elena is going to be hunted. So they're going to have to be a lot more careful now. And especially given that Stefan and Elena have broken up now, he's going to be hyper protective of someone who doesn't want to be with him, you know? So that's going to be very interesting. But yeah, anyway, that was another amazing episode. We got a lot of information. I'm so excited that we've actually got the reveal of the originals and they're in it now. And yeah, I'm excited to see where the series goes. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I've left a link down below to my Patreon. We'll be able to find the early and uncut reactions to The Vampire Diaries and all the other shows that I do. If you enjoyed the reaction, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.